Ever think about, those moments, those really tough situations, like when a soldier can't, for whatever reason, afford to make it home, even for, well,
For a funeral.
exactly, for a funeral. It's one of those things you don't think about every day, but
It happens more often than you'd think.
sadly, yeah. And that's where I think groups like today's topic, Angels Wings Transport, they really step up.
They're incredible. And you're right, it's not just about logistics, getting someone from point A to point B. It's about filling a need, a really human need
Yeah.
that most people don't even realize exists.
Right. And their website, it sort of lays out, it lists, well, three main things they do: animal transport, military transport, medical transport. But it's, I don't know, the language, it's almost vague. Like they say no low cost flights and morale flights. What does that even mean? A morale flight?
Well, and I think that's deliberate because the how isn't as important as the why in this case. And the why, it goes deep. See, the organization was founded by a veteran, and he had this experience, this really powerful experience, during an honor transfer of remains.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the soldiers' parents, they couldn't even afford to drive just to be there when when the plane landed.
Gosh, I can't imagine getting that news and then having that on top of it.
The financial burden.
Yeah, exactly. It's just unthinkable, really.
And the thing is, and this is what really struck the founder, this isn't some isolated incident. He started looking into it, and it turns out roughly 10,000 military funerals happen every single month in the U.S.
10,000 a month. That's like 10,000 families every single month dealing with this impossible situation.
And most of them, most people, have no idea. Not something we talk about.
It's just heartbreaking. But I'm curious, with a need that big, where do they even start?
And that's what I find so interesting about Angel's Wings. They've really focused on what they do best, what makes them unique. So first, they use private aircraft, not commercial flights. And this lets them be fast, flexible, and it lends a level of respect that you don't get with a commercial flight.
Makes sense, yeah. And they talk about a network of pilots on their website.
Right. And that's another key thing. It's not just about money, about chartering planes. It's pilots, people who believe in this mission, donating their time, their skills. And the last piece, they have international capabilities.
Because military families, they're all over the world. It's incredible how much thought has gone into everything they do. And speaking of thoughtfulness, there was this, I don't know, this really moving detail I saw on their website. It's a poem excerpt. It says, "Oh, I have slipped the surly bonds of earth."
Ah, yes. That's from High Flight.
I was going to say, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's a famous one by Johnny Gillespie McGee. He was a pilot himself, died in World War II, tragically young.
Of course, right. And I think even just including that small part of that poem, it says so much about, like, the heart of Angel's Wings.
Absolutely. It's about honoring the sacrifice, recognizing that even in death, there's a need for dignity. I think that comes through in everything they do.
And then there's this section on their website, Info for Pilots, which at first I thought was a little out of place, but then I realized.
It actually highlights something really crucial. This whole operation, it runs on volunteer pilots. It's not some big, faceless organization. It's people coming together to serve those who served.
It's such a powerful reminder of, I don't know, just the good that's out there.
Absolutely.
So we've got this group, Angel's Wings, born out of this act of compassion, and they're filling this need, this huge need that most of us probably don't even think about. And they found this incredible way to do it, to really make a difference. And it's all powered by people who care enough to give their time, their skills. It's really something.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it makes you think, in a world that's so focused on the living, how can we all do a better job of honoring the sacrifices that the people make, even in their passing? And if anyone listening, if this resonates with you, check out Angel's Wings website. Right. Their stories they're incredible, they're impactful, and there are ways to get involved if you feel called to.
Couldn't agree more.